Hello YouTube, this is Chance Paladin here, and I'm sort of playing Shadowrun Returns. I'd been getting a lot of requests asking for how my UGC is going, user-generated content. If you're not aware, Shadowrun Returns lets you make your own campaigns doing whatever you want. So, you might not know that, but a lot of Shadowrun community folks already do, and they've been asking for this, so hope you sit along and for the ride, and I'll try to explain everything that's going on my map. So, the backstory is that this is my old neighborhood. It's called the 220th and 240th blocks of Des Moines, Washington. So, it's a real place. It's really where I grew up. It didn't quite look like this, but this would be like 50 years in the future. So, anyway, I'm just gonna get started. And so, this is my house right here, and I'll show you in there in a minute. This is the parking lot across the street. The security guys have it all locked down. It's where everybody keeps their vehicles so they're safe from the bad guys, because in the future things are not very good, and this is a safe place, so everything's under tight lock and guard, and try to be self-sufficient, so we have lots of gardens, and there are conversations, so like I can talk to people. This is Gung Ho, a guy I made up, and he's the local arms dealer, and you can talk to him. And then someday you'll be able to buy weapons and stuff from him, but not right now. And then he'll sell magic stuff in case somebody wants to buy magic stuff, and she'll sell stuff, I don't know what. And then she'll sell food, I guess, I don't know. Some of it's not really placeholder stuff, it's just me having fun making a place for my character, Net Pally, to live, just like me. This is Ricky, the rat shaman. He's my character's best friend. And there's some little chats with him right now. You can't do much. Eventually you'll be able to hire him, and he'll be your friend and follow you around, and after there's stuff to do. So that's the main area. So my campaign, when it's done, is going to be open world, involving these local areas, but most of the game is going to be in the Matrix. So if you don't know anything about Shadowrun, that's like the virtual world, sort of like the internet, but far more advanced. The Matrix isn't going to be updated until the 3.0 version of the editor, and I've been working on this and uploading Shadowrun videos to support the Kickstarter, and as soon as it gets to 700k, which is in about 27k, they will confirm that they're going to be updating the Matrix. So as soon as they update the Matrix and get that in later this year, I'll actually be able to work on the bulk of the campaign, which is going to be the Matrix. So, I could show you it, but it's very kind of, it's not bare bones, but it doesn't function the way it's supposed to. But I can show you my house. So here is Net Pally's house. It's got can log into the computer and could you? Yeah, you can have him interact with the computer, but it doesn't do anything. Here's his little air mattress that he sleeps on, and a little arcade that he can play on. Here's his air conditioning units, and more air conditioning units. He requires lots of air conditioning. Here's his little bathroom, and that's right, the toilet's messed up. I need to pull it out of the wall. Here's a little medical area, and a fridge, and a little cupboard sort of area. And there's his TV. It's a 3-dimensional TV. And his Vote for Dunkles on poster. Water jug, and video games, and Dreamcatcher. And I think that's a pill medicine vending machine, if I'm not mistaken. Which I would love to have. And then here's his backyard, which is even more gardens, because everybody's got gardens. And you couldn't see it out there, I think, but all the roofs have gardens also. So basically the whole place is nothing but tons of gardens, so they can be self-sufficient. And then here's the basement slash, I don't know, under the house. So he's got some little drones that protect and guard the place, and some safes and vaults and all kinds of neat stuff. A little doctor area with a doctor drone that can work on people if they need be, and hot water heater and furnace and everything, and tons of supplies. Enough sleeping space for people to sleep if he has people come and stay over, and which is a story for another day. But in case a bunch of people need to stay over for some reason, then there's plenty of room for them to sleep and crash down here for any reason, like hiding out or whatever. Enough water to last a very, very, very long time. And hopefully there will be more art assets, but there's supposed to be a well down here. Hence all the water, because there will be a well. But there isn't anything for that right now, so I need to add some lights to these. But these are weapon, just boxes and shelves full of weapons. And then another computer system down here. I think that's it. Another sink. Before I go any further, there's lots of loading screens because I have this map specifically parsed out. So any one of my areas I can make as big as I want, because before 3.0 there was a lot of limits on size, and the best way to make them really cool and have really good functionality was to parse them out like this, so you can make them as big as you want without them freaking out, without the map freaking out. Yeah, so that way when I did want to make big spaces, I could make really, really big spaces without worrying about anything. Here's another one of my characters you'll be able to be friends with. This is Dances with Clams. She's like an ocean kind of clam shaman. I don't know if there's such a thing, but I made it up. It's kind of a Washington Northwest Washington thing, so never mind. Don't worry about it. But a little bit of chatting with her you can do, but there will be a lot more story with her later, and you'll be able to hire her as a Shadowrunner. And then here's some ships out here docked. Can't quite get the lighting to work right yet, but I'm working on it. These will be some... Yeah, as there's more boat assets, I'll be adding more boats and ships and docks and stuff. But again, since this is its own place, it can get absolutely massive. I mean, this can just keep going. It can keep going in every direction. So that's just kind of where it's kind of a start. So each area has a start. So it's not super... This main stronghold's not super militarized or anything. They're just kind of patriots. They're just trying to live free, be left alone, and they, they just love being free, and they have their own rule of law, and there's I have tons of backstory written on it. They don't bother anybody, nobody bothers them, and I'll explain more as I go. So we'll head south first towards the chapel. So in Des Moines, the Puget Sound actually is west of there, and south there actually is a chapel. So I had the chapel still be there, and it's supposed to be like multi-religion, and they just kind of coexist here. They've decided to just not put their religion aside, but just decide that for the sake of security they all have to band together. So these are supposed to be different religious groups, and the story is, well, there's going to be a lot of expansion with them, but they're good guys. They don't hurt anybody unless people hurt them. They just want to be left alone and do their religious stuff. It doesn't hurt anybody and all that. And here's all the people that didn't make it. They preserve this and try to preserve it anyway. There will be more on that later, but they keep the bad guys out that live south of here. And south of here would be Midway. And so someday you'll be able to go south of here, which is Midway, which will be a very bad area. You'll get creamed if you go down there without backup. I haven't figured out what exactly I'll put in Midway yet, in terms of like what kind of bad guys will be there, but they'll be very, very bad, extremely difficult. Oh, that's right, there aren't farms up here. There are solar panel arrays. That's how the place stays powered, even though it's not on the grid, is they've got solar panels. I need to put lighting up here. I think that would help see them. There's a lot of implied innuendo of stuff, of things to come. I don't want to sit and explain everything. That'd be boring, I think. These guys are good guys. They're guards. They're not keeping people in. They're keeping people out. Making sure only people go through that are supposed to. And also, the people down at the chapel protect us. The agreement, though, is that we allow them safe passage so they can go back and forth this way, because this is where the market is. Now, north of the market will be that heads toward SeaTac and then Seattle, but you can't just get to Seattle, you'd have to get through SeaTac first, which is where I'll say the Halloweeners are, which are a really bad gang. But despite that, this is a neutral area, and they've agreed to not attack here, or they would get annihilated by the amount of security here from all of the different groups, because everybody is here to trade, because the gangs figured out that they have to trade and be civil or they will become extinct. So they've agreed to not destroy this area because they would suffer way too many losses. So, and there would be huge repercussions from all of the groups who trade here. So, east of here is Kent. I don't have Kent in yet. I don't have SeaTac in yet. But there will be a Kent this way, SeaTac north, and then Midway south. And that's probably going to be the limit that I design the Overworld, the Overworld, I guess I'll call it. I-5 would be right here. I-5 would be terrible in a sort of like really, really bad situation. I mean, it's already bad even in normal times, really bad. So I drove by my first zipping up a body bag on I-5, or not I-5, Pack Highway. I-5 would be southeast a little bit, but yeah, Pack Highway. I drove by my first body bag, zipping up. That was interesting. Anyway, terrible. So that's during normal times, so I can't even imagine what it'd be like. That's why it's barricaded off. There will be no way to go that way. Maybe you'll have to pass through a section of Pack Highway to get down to Kent. That's probably what I'll do. But again, like, Overworld is going to be ridiculously dangerous. It's not going to be like level 1 mobs like the Halloweeners, the Pack Highway, Kent, SeaTac, Midway are going to be extremely dangerous. Like, you'll probably not be able to make it. And I don't know, I can't think of anything that I could put there that would be important enough to want to go. I think I just want to put it there to show how bad it would be outside the stronghold. But taking some back roads, driving way far out into the country, you can get to a Bugout location that's very, very protected, very secluded. Nobody knows where it is. It's got drones and turrets, and only a single point of entry. And there's 2 points of entry, but they go into a single point of entry, and the area outside of that has another 2 points of entry going into a single point of entry. So there's going to be a pond here. There's a lake, there's a pond there. There's going to be a river here and a river the other direction. So this place is surrounded by rivers or ponds on 3 sides. Part of the problem is that there isn't nice blue water. It's all sewer water because that's the only water that's in the game, so I'm gonna try to figure out something about that. But anyway, that's it, and this goes for a ways. Then there's more turrets and a barricade fence. This will be there will be stuff that happens with all of this also, but it's going to be all open world stuff, and there will be rewards and consequences and the whole 9 yards. It's just going to take a really, really long time. I mean, just to get it this far, I've been working on it for maybe a year and a half. I'm not sure. Been working on it for a long time. But anyway, that's it, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let's see, let's go back. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. I hope you can see the detail that I put into it, and the love, and see how it means a lot to me, and the potential that it has, and get to represent where I came from in my favorite game. So thanks for watching, you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.